Welcome back to another week of yoga, yogis. All you need for this flow is maybe some water and something to write with and something to write on. You don't have to do this, but I highly recommend it. So helpful. We're not going to use this until the very end, so go ahead and put it a little bit out of the way, maybe by your water. This little weird thing right here is my microphone. My sound's a little bit funny today. Technology, what are we going to do? All right, so this flow today is inspired by something called solution focused therapy. And if you've been to therapy or counseling a lot, you may have done this before. If you're a therapist or a social worker, you may know all about this. You may have no idea what I'm talking about, and that's cool. Today's theme is to build on the strengths that you already have. We all have great stuff about ourselves, and we all have stuff that we like to beat ourselves up about. I want to focus not on what's wrong with you, not on what's wrong with the world and what's wrong with your life. Let's talk about what's going right. Let's move with the intention of, I have these strengths about me, these awesome things about me, and I want to build on those. So today is going to be very fluid and dynamic, and then we're going to have a nice long meditation at the end. So if you would, find a comfortable seat. Maybe if you want to lay down, that's fine too. And just keep in mind a few things. One, your shapes that you make don't have to look like my shapes. Our bodies are different, our injuries are different, our backgrounds are different. So your shapes should look different than my shapes. Than maybe if you're practicing with someone's shapes. All of our shapes should look different. That's encouraged. You don't have to look like my shapes, not at all. And they're just shapes, so try not to take them too seriously. Let's just breathe and move around and not have to focus so much on, am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? Just do it to move. Does that sound good? Practice ahimsa, which means non-harming. That means if I'm calling out something, you're like, that feels funny in my knee. Yeah, don't do that. That sounds good. Or let's say that you feel a little bit fired up in your legs and you feel like that burning sensation because your muscles are working. That's okay pain. Pop pains aren't good, things of that nature. If it doesn't feel good to you, let it pass. Sound good? Is that our deal? Ahimsa deal? Okay. So again, let's find somewhere comfortable to sit or lay down. If you are prone to getting really tired and sleepy when you lay down, maybe try sitting up today. If how I'm sitting doesn't work for you, find your own way that is comfortable. A lot of folks like to plant their feet on the ground and maybe bring their knees up to their chest and wrapping your arms around your shins. That's a great way to start. If you want to start in child's pose, that's a wonderful way to start too. If you've got some anxiety and some tension and you want to actually start out in a forward fold, feel free to do that too. Those are your options. If I didn't give you an option that you want to do, then feel free to do that. If you feel really stressed and anxious and you don't want to start in a forward fold, maybe that hurts your hamstrings, I'd recommend bringing your knees to your chest. And instead of giving this the feeling of childlike and I want to feel small, what I'm going for is actually my feet are anchored on the ground. My feet are planted on the ground. Go ahead, if you'd like, you can soften your gaze or close the eyes. And if you close your eyes and you feel like your eyeballs are tilting up towards the sky, maybe with your eyelids closed, pretend like you're staring at the tip of your nose. If that's uncomfortable for your eyeballs, then don't do it. And if you would, start to take note of how your body feels today. Are there aches and pains that you deal with that are chronic? If so, if you have any chronic pain, the back, the knees, search for a place in your body that doesn't hurt. Search for a place in your body that feels strong or soft, no pain. Focus on that. If your body's feeling really good right now, then maybe pay attention to the points of the body that are anchored on the ground. If you're laying down, maybe it's your back, your shoulder blades. If you're sitting like I am, maybe it's your feet planted on the ground. Maybe if you're in Sukhasana, easy pose, maybe it's your sits bones or your ischial tuberosity against the ground. From here, feel that connection with the ground. Check in again. How does your body feel in that space that you're focusing on? Start to deepen your breath. Maybe start to inhale for longer and exhale for longer. We're going to do a breathing exercise where we breathe in for 3 and breathe out for 6. So let's all get on the same page and let's inhale through the nose for 1, 2, 3. Exhaling for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and do that on your own. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, maybe a reason why you're moving today, what brought you to your mat, can you dedicate it to something greater than you? Or do you want to dedicate it to you? My intention offering, if you wanted it, is what strengths can you build on right now? What are you doing well right now? That could be, I'm sleeping really well. I'm cooking really well. I'm drinking a lot of water pretty well. Search for 1 or 3 things that you're doing well. It doesn't matter how small or how significant they are. What are you doing well right now? Today, what have you done well? If you're like, I can't think of a thing, what have you done this week? What have you done well? There's got to be at least 1 to 3 things. That little inner critic or bully could be a lot louder than what you're searching for. What have you done well? Acknowledge your bully and then say, you're not being helpful right now, and go back to what have you done well? Think about that 1 item, 2 items, 3 or more. And imagine that feeling of, I've done this well. Really pull that energy in towards you. Pull it in. You have done this well. You are well. You are good. Our yoga practice asks us to look at what we're doing well and to bring in that good. If you'd like, you can bring your hands into heart center. And slightly bow forward, bowing to that inner teacher that you all have, that you have. That inner teacher, that gut feeling, that intuition. And from here, let's all meet into Sukhasana Easy Pose. And if that's not comfy for you, then just sit however is comfortable for you. Take your hands, ball them into a fist, and roll out those hands, wrists. Cracking is okay. And now let's take our wrists in the opposite direction, noticing how that's awkward. Huh? Why is this so hard? And then from here, if you'd like, take your hands straight, and then what we're going to do is open up our elbows and bring the tops of our hands together. Lower elbows down. Yes. And if that's enough flexion on your wrists, you stay there. If you want a little bit more, you can drop your elbows more. And then I like to kind of play around here. A little bit dynamic. Don't hold anything too long yet. I failed to tell you in the beginning, if you want to practice to sound or songs and music, there's a link in the description. It's a it's a Spotify playlist, and click on it. You can press pause, click on it, and you can follow along. Sound good? All right, from here, let's roll out our wrists again. Maybe bring the tips of the fingers to our shoulders, and let's roll out our shoulders. Maybe you've been sitting a lot in front of a computer and we need to roll our shoulders back. We're going to do it. We're going to get into it. And so instead of just like doing these poses, can you feel these poses? Can you slow down enough to feel your shoulders open? Can you feel this enough or do this enough where you feel it in your back is opening? Oh yeah. Good. And then from here, come into stillness, hands in your lap, and then walk your hands over to the right. Just a gentle little twist here. And then if you would, walk your hands in front of your right knee. We're here. Walk hands to the center, but don't bow quite yet. Walk hands over to that left knee right in front. And then if you'd like, a little bit more over to the left. And continue to make these little half moon shapes around you. Maybe moving with your breath if you'd like. I'm going to ask you to bring your attention to your back. How's your back feeling? Could be stiff. You could have maybe slept funny. Could feel open. Thank you, back. The back does a lot, doesn't it? From here, once we reach and close out our last cycle, there's no rush to get there. We're going to come back to center and then fold over. Option 1 is to come down to the forearms. Maybe tuck the chin into the chest. Option 2, if you'd like it, is you can walk your forearms away and maybe bring your forehead down to the ground. Come into 3 breaths here. Again, not worrying, am I doing this right? Just to do it, just to feel. And once you feel ready, walk your hands back towards your body. Left hand on right knee once more, and then take your right hand and bring it behind you for a spinal twist. Feel free to tent the fingertips and look over that right shoulder. Now, if this hurts your neck for any reason, don't do that. Look straight, and that's totally fine. Maybe your back just cracked. Let's take this over on the other side. No rush to get there. Again, if yours looks different, that's fine. And once you feel ready, walk your hands back to center and come into tabletop all fours. Because what's a yoga class without some cat-cow action? So hands underneath shoulders, knees under hips. Come into your cat-cows. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Dropping belly, gaze goes up. And then on your exhale, dome belly. I like to send my gaze out towards my toes. Go ahead, go between these two on your very own. Pausing where it feels good. Not just doing the pose to finish it, but doing the pose to feel it. And then from here, come to a flat back and walk yourself out towards your belly. And from here, come to your forearms. Now, if this hurts you for any reason, tighten up your booty and press your toes into the ground or your mat so the tops of the feet come off the floor. This is Sphinx pose. And if this is too much, then you can actually come down a little bit lower. And that's totally fine too. What we're going to do is we're going to bend the right knee, lower it down, press that right foot back into the mat, left knee bends. Notice how that knee feels. Notice how that quad is feeling. Lower it back down. Press both feet into the ground. Feel anchored here. Bend both legs back. Knees should be hovering off the ground a little bit if you want it. Do you feel that? Yes. Reach it back here. Let's do it again. Press the tops of the feet into the ground so much where your thighs lift. So my thighs are now resting. But if you really engage your quads and press your feet into the ground, they raise up. And then from here, I'm going to tighten up my booty. I'm going to bend those legs back. We're just warming up. And then bring it back down. From here, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Chest drops down and come into a low cobra here. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, low cobra. Elbows are together. Gaze goes down to the tip of your nose. We're not cranking that neck. Lower back down. Inhale, low cobra. And then from here, what you're going to do is reach out, tent the fingertips. Press the tops of the feet into the ground again or your mat. Come up a little bit higher. Drop your right shoulder to the inside. Inhale, come up. Left shoulder. Inhale, come up and right. Inhale, come up and left. You're doing good. Look, you're doing it well. You're doing it well. Right shoulder. Flow in and out on your own with this. Now, sometimes this hurts the fingertips. I'll just come to a flat hand. That's fine. No worries here. We stretched out our wrists at the beginning. Good. And from here, come back down. What you're going to do is reach your arms behind you, clasp the fingers together. Inhale, reach back with your hands. Peel your chest off the mat. And exhale, lower back down. Take your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes under, press back into child's pose. You can take your knees out wide, you can bring your knees together. You decide what child's pose do you need. And this way you can feel the back just really open up. So if you're having any back pain, this can be really helpful. And just to continue to open up the sides of our body, walk your hands over to the right hand side in your child's pose. Maybe you feel some of your lats and different parts of your side really open up. It's not something that we engage in everyday movements. Walk your hands back to center. Walk them over to the other side. If you want left instead of right, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Your hands back to center. Roll forward to table. We're on all fours once more. Again, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And what we're going to do is tuck that right foot back and come to the ball of the back foot. And we've been here a few times if we've practiced together before. And start to rock slightly, pressing the heel down towards the ground. It shouldn't touch the ground. If it does, I don't know if you have an Achilles. But go ahead and find this wonderful calf opening or gastroc opening. Woo! And after doing this a few times, it's safe to hold. The reason why I like to dynamically warm up your body is your muscles work like a rubber band. If your muscles aren't warm, doing something a little bit more dynamic first. If your muscles are cold, like if we just held this, Yeah, a cold rubber band snaps, right? So your muscles are similar. It's not good to hold stretches if you're not warmed up. So by working you dynamically and then holding, I'm warming up that rubber band to stretch. I'm warming up your muscles to stretch. Right knee meets the left, extend that left leg out. Ball the foot, press back with the heel. Start to rock gently back and forth. Maybe enjoying the ride. Noticing, ooh, my calves are pretty tight. Mine are too, and I'm a yoga teacher. And when you feel it's safe and you feel like your calf is nice and opened, you can hold. And if you're like, I don't really know what it means if it feels safe. If you rock back and forth at least 6 times, you should be good to go. And if there's any pain here, you can just ease up. There's no need to go as to your edge unless you feel like you want to. From here, bring your left knee to meet the right. Extend the right leg out, bend the knee, and start to take some hip circles, making them as big or as little as you want. They don't have to look like mine. They can be super huge. They can be nice and little. Whatever feels good to you today, do that. Feeling that hip open up. We're gonna have a little fun today. We may go upside down. We'll see. We'll see what happens. From here, you know I like to get into my gate pose. So option is to stay here, or option is to pivot on that left knee. Option is to reach up with your right hand and maybe grab a hold and then bring that foot towards your booty. Maybe it'll touch, maybe it won't. And something funky that we're gonna do together is, can you release the ground with your left hand? Yeah, we're going there. And bring the right foot out in front of you and straighten that leg. You've made it. Bring your hands down to the ground. And then walk your hands to the inside of that right foot. So you're on the back knee. Untuck your left toes. Come off that knee. Nice. Right arm goes up. We're going to twist now. Good. Bring this right hand back down. Bring your right knee or right foot back. So now you're in plank pose. Lower down into your table, all fours. Nice job. Cool. From here, we're in table. Extend your left leg back, toes down. Bend that leg, open up that hip by doing your knees or your hip circles. I'm not practicing with a yoga mat, so you don't have to either if you don't want to. Sometimes I feel like those 4 corners of my mat, I love them, but then they kind of limit me. I kind of want to just move around in circles sometimes. All right, option is to stay here. Option is to stay here, here, or if you'd like, pivot on that right knee. Reach up with the left hand, come into your gate pose, taking hold of that ankle, drawing it in. You know where we're going next now. So we're going to release the ground with our right hand. Left leg comes out straight. Yes. And bring your hands on either side. Before we hold this for too long, bring your hands to the inside of that left foot. Come off that back knee. Nice. From here, take your left arm, reach it out, come into your twist. Bring that left hand to the inside. Take this foot and engage your core here. Step back into plank pose. Nice. Lower all the way down to belly. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Roll shoulders back. Come on up. Low cobra. And from here, tuck toes under. Press yourself up to plank pose. Good. And then downward facing dog. The first one of the day. So walk your feet out. Maybe shift hips from side to side. Maybe do anything weird that you want to do to get ready for it. Maybe taking some wider stance here. Doesn't matter to me. And then if you would, step the feet together. Take that right leg up. Bend the knee, open the hip. Nice. Bring that right foot in between the hands. Rise up for crescent, staying on the ball of the back foot. We're reaching up. Options are here or options are right here. We slide back a little. So we're in our crescent. Now that back knee can be bent. If you'd like, you can even come down to that back knee. You decide, what do you need today? Good. From here, bring your hands down. Step back into plank pose and back into downward facing dog. We're still warming up that body. Take that left leg back, bend the knee, open the hip, and bring that right foot in between the hands. Rise for crescent. Again, yours doesn't have to look like mine. Just make it look like yours. Good. From here, bring your hands back down. Step back into plank pose. Lower down to your knees and then untuck your toes. Lower down to your chest and then chin. And then come up for your low cobra. All right, cool. Downward facing dog here. Press yourself back. And just so you can hear me better, I'm going to swirl around. Step big toes together. Right leg comes up, bend the knee, open the hip. We're going to add on. Right foot in between the hands, rise for crescent. Hands can be wherever you'd like. Good. And then from here, we're going to open up to horse and goddess. So heels in, toes out. We're not bending too. We're not coming to 90 quite yet. So just stay right in here. From here, what we're going to do is try some options. Option 1, you're hanging right here. Option 2, you press up on your toes, bring your heels off the ground a little bit. See how that feels. Feel how everything kind of knits up. Holy smokes, that's hard, right? Drop the heels back down. Go back into your crescent, so ball the back foot, reach it up. Nice, good. Bring your hands down, step back into down dog. Gain your composure because we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So step big toes together. Left leg comes up, bend the knee, open the hip. Left foot in between the hands. Rise up for crescent. You got this. Good. We're going to take horse and goddess again, but I'm going to face you. So what you're going to do is open up to the other part of the room. You won't be able to see me, and that's fine. Just follow the directions. You got this. We've already been here. You're in your horse and goddess, heels in and toes are out. If you need to, you can walk your feet even a little bit closer together. Keep your fingers wide. Keep your chest open, and maybe raise the right heel. Maybe raise the left heel. Nice. Maybe feel like this is really hard, but I'm going to stick with it because I'm going to do this well. All right, pain's over. Heels down, come back into crescent. Awesome. Hands come down, frame that foot. Take your flow your way, or you can take my cues. Stepping back into plank. I'm going to lower down all the way to my belly. I'm going to come up into my low cobra, and I'm going to press back into my downward dog. If you want to take chaturanga, if you want to take knees, chest, chin, if you want to skip it all together, that's fine. Step big toes together, reach right leg back, bend the knee, open the hip. Right foot in between the hands, rise crescent. Good. Arms can be however you'd like. Prayer, reaching up, cactus. Open up to your horse and goddess. You know what to do. Left heel comes up first this time. Right heel comes up this time. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, heels come down. Return back into your crescent warrior. Coming on the ball of that back foot. Good. From here, open up into warrior 2. Looking over your right fingertips. Nice. From here, take your your left arm wrapped around the lower back. Flip that right palm and reverse your warrior. Don't forget the bend in the knee. Option is to look up, or option is to look back at that back foot. That's wonderful too. Maybe bend a little bit deeper. Maybe not. And then from here, bring your right forearm to your thigh. Reach it over for extended side angle. Inhale, coming back to warrior two. Straighten out that front leg. What I need to do for my body is walk my back foot up a couple inches. You don't have to do that, that's fine. From here, we're gonna come into a reverse triangle, wrapping arm, reaching back, and then reaching forward. Pop the booty out as far as it goes, and then fold over. Option to gaze up by your hand, or option is to look down. It's your practice. Again, your shape may look very different from this. It's just yoga, just a shape. Good. We're gonna come back up, bend the front knee. We're back into our warrior two now. Cartwheel the hands back down, step back, take your flow your way, and I'll see you in downward facing dog. Three breaths here. Child's pose or water is also a great idea. From here, if you're ready, step big toes together, left leg comes up, bend the knee, open the hip, left foot in between the hands, rise for crescent. Hands can be wherever they want. From here, open up to horse and goddess. You won't be seeing me because you'll be facing the other way. That's fine too. Lift up right heel first, then your left heel. You're doing well. Bring your heels down, come back into your crescent, ball the back foot. Hands can be wherever they're like. And then open up to warrior two. Good. So we've been here before, so just follow the cues and you've got this. Your back arm reaches around the lower back. Reverse your warrior here. Gaze can go back at your foot or up towards the sky. Don't forget that bend in the knee. I know I do sometimes. Sometimes my yoga teacher will come sit on my thigh. I don't like that. Coming back through warrior two, coming into your extended side angle. Left arm, forearm comes to the thigh, reaching over. Gaze can go up towards the sky or down towards the ground. If it's up towards the sky, you can tell if you put on deodorant or not. Who cares if you did or didn't? I can't smell you. Come back up through your warrior two. Straighten out that front leg. Now, again, my body, gotta walk my back foot up a little bit. I'm gonna reverse my triangle. So back arm reaches around, reach it back. Come forward, reach forward, and then fold when you feel ready for your Trikonasana triangle pose. Gaze is up or gaze is down. If you have a funny ankle like me, sometimes I even have to twist my toes inward, just a little, to take a little pressure off my ankles. Everyone's body's so different. That's why our asanas, our posture shouldn't look the same. From here, come back up to your warrior two, bending that front knee. Awesome. Cartwheel your hands down, take your flow your way, or come back into downward dog, or take your break. We're going to take a couple breaths in child's pose, so come down to your knees and grab some water and open up that back and that hip in child's pose if you'd like. We're going to add on to that a little bit, and then we're going to come down, stretch you out, and end with a long meditation. All right, so take some last deep breaths in your child's pose, and I'll meet y'all in down dog whenever you feel ready. You'll know when we start to flow. So I'm walking my hands out to downward dog. I'm stepping my big toes together, reaching my right foot up and bending the knee, open the hip. Right foot in between the hands, crescent. Inhale. Exhale, horse and goddess. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, heels down. Inhale, crescent warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, extended side angle. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the legs. Maybe bring up that back leg. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, fold, Trikonasana. You're doing well. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, warrior two. All right, here's a new one for us. I know we're just flowing. What we're gonna do is we're gonna come into standing half moon. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my right hand, reach it out forward, a little bit outside my right foot, and pop my back leg up like this. And I'm gonna reach my hand overhead. Go on, give it a shot, see what happens. Who cares if you do this wrong or right, doesn't matter. Now, if you want some added challenge, you can always bring your right hand to your heart. I know, what the heck? And then wherever you are, take that left foot, almost like you're gonna meet the right foot, but bypass the ground and sweep that left knee up towards your chest. Good job. Come into a figure four. Aha, well done. Take your arms out like a T. And if you need to hold the wall, feel free to do that, or a chair. That's great too. Bring your left arm underneath your right arm. And we're gonna come into eagle arms here. Draw shoulders away from the ears. Option is to stay right here. Option if you want to take a tighter twist with your legs, or to wrap this foot around the calf for eagle. Stare at something that's not moving. That's helpful for balance. You are in eagle pose. And from here, unravel, take your legs out wide, and come into a forward fold. Good. Let your hands or arms fall where they're at. Doesn't matter. From here, once more, take your arms out like an eagle. Wrap right arm underneath left. So eagle arms, draw elbows away from your body towards the ground and drop your head down. From here, unravel your hands and walk your hands towards the top of your mat or towards your right foot. Bend that right leg, step back into plank pose, take your flow, or just press back into downward facing dog. You decide. I'll see you all in downward dog. All right, let's do this. Big toes touch. Left leg comes up, bend the knee, open the hip. Draw that foot in between the hands. Inhale, come up to your crescent. Exhale, horse and goddess. Heels and toes out. Inhale, reach heels up. Exhale, bring heels down. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle. Good. Inhale, back to center, warrior two. Exhale, straighten the legs. Inhale, reverse, Trikonasana. Exhale, come back to center. Take a big inhale here, gather up the energy you need. And exhale, full Trikonasana. I'm going to stay for a little bit of a beat here. I feel like our left sides in yoga sometimes don't get equal stretching, so we're going to stay here just a touch longer. Inhale, come back up to your warrior two. Bend that front knee. We're going to come into that standing half moon. So there are different ways that you can do it. You can fly into it if you know what you're doing. If you're like, this is only my first time doing it, let's do it. I'm going to break it down if you'd like. You're going to reach your left hand arm forward, engage your core here. Back leg's going to fly. So you're reaching it down towards the ground and your right arm goes up. Whoops. And you open up your toes too and you reach up. And if you want that extra balance, you can bring that left hand towards your heart. Again, yours may look different than mine. It's not a big deal. It's just a shape. Good job. From here, what we're gonna do is the right foot's gonna pretend like it's meeting the left foot, but we're gonna bypass the ground and sweep that right leg up towards our chest. Good. Right foot figure fours over the left. Option to stay here, option to reach your arms out and come into your eagle arms, right arm underneath, shoulders away from the body for your eagle. Option is to stay right here. Option is to maybe tighten up your grip or to wrap that foot around. Nice. I may have called the wrong side. It happens. Wherever you are, unravel out, wide legs, forward fold. With the opposite arm, reach it out. I'm gonna bring my left arm underneath my right, eagle arm my arms, and draw my elbows away from my body towards the ground and let my head fall heavy. Deep breaths here. From here, unravel those arms. Walk your hands to the top of your mat, frame that foot. Step back, maybe take your last flow, or maybe just press back into down dog. It's your choice. This is your practice. And I'll see you in downward facing dog. So good. Come down to your knees here. And press up. Let's stand on our knees. I'll face you. We're not going to get too much into heart opening, but I do want to draw the shoulders back and the chest out just a little bit to counter what some of the stuff we did. So take your hands and bind them behind you. Like this. Option is to stay right here. Option is to stretch your arms out straight. Maybe gaze goes up. Option is to press even more back. And what I'm doing is I'm pressing my chest out, tailbone forward. So I'm not just kind of sinking like this. Booty is coming forward. My chest is out as well. If you want even more, you can try closing the palms. Option 1 is here. Option 2 is you can take your hands and place them right above your booty, pressing pelvis forward, drawing elbows together, gaze can follow up. This feels good, huh? If you want to drop back into Ustrasana, camel pose, you can feel free to do that. I don't know if our bodies are totally ready if you're a beginner, but if you don't know what Ustrasana is, I'll show you. And if it looks fun, you want to try it, well then heck, who am I to tell you not to? What you can do is reach back, see if that hand can touch that heel on the right side. Can it touch the heel on that left side without hurting that back? If it can, maybe reach back, grab a hold, and then grab a hold with the other hand too. If you want to, you can also drop your head back. And this is Ustrasana, camel pose. Let's all come out of whatever heart opener we decided to do and come back into all fours. And come into some cat-cows just to wash some of that off, pausing where it feels good. And then child's pose, 3 breaths. Man, we have earned it, huh? We've done this flow well. We're building on our strengths. I'm going to walk my hands back towards my body. I'm going to come to my booty. Bring the soles of the feet together. And you're gonna open up, here I want to back up a little. Let's open up our feet like they are a book. So in the 90s or 2000s, I don't know when, for some reason we were taught to close the feet. That brings the knees up and kind of stresses the ankle out. So drop the knees as much as you want and then open up your feet. Option is sit up tall. Option is to fold if you'd like, walking your hands away from you. If you're working on this option, you can bring your fingers out to a tent, or you can lower down to your forearms, or you can come all the way down, bring your forehead down to the ground. Whatever works. Go ahead and walk your hands back, sitting up nice and tall here. Grab a hold of that left foot. Straighten out that right leg. And option is to grab a hold of that foot, kind of rock it out here. Option is to bring that foot and bring it into the elbow and rock your leg baby here. We've been here before. If we've practiced together, which I have with most of you. Most of you are my students. From here, take your foot into your left hand, bring that knee back and forward. So we're straightening it out, back and forward. And we're just gonna have a little bit of fun here. Now remember, it doesn't matter if you can do the poses or not. It's the fact that you're here moving your body and paying attention to your body. You're like, what are we about to do? Nothing too cray-cray, no worries. Come into a figure four. If this feels uncomfortable, then option is not to do it. Sit up nice and tall here. Option one is we're gonna walk our hands over, right like this. Option two, if you'd like it, you can bring that elbow into your arch of your foot. Come into prayer hands. Make sure to point your right toes up towards the sky. Take your twist. Could go into an arm balance here, but not today. We want to focus on what we're doing well. We want to work on our strengths. From here, come out of that prayer, plant that foot outside the knee, tuck that right foot back towards your tush, sit up tall, right arm goes up, take your twist here, left arm wraps around. It's all right to hold now. If you want to get super yogi, you can bring your pointer and your thumb together and make a mudra. From here, come back to center. Grab a hold of those ankles, and what we're going to do is come into cow face. So if you want to, you can try to stack your knees as close as they get. Now, they may not look like this. You may look like this. Doesn't matter, who cares? You want, you can bring a pillow and put your pillow right here. What I like to do is grab a hold of my ankles and kind of move my booty around and sit up. Even if I'm like this. Hello hips, right? So if you're like this, you're gonna hang out right here. If you've got some more mobility in those hips, your options is stay here or walk your hands away, bowing the head down. Keep in mind, we're all in different places. Different places. The fact that you're here practicing, you're doing well. You're doing well. Let's walk our hands back because I haven't tied you in a knot enough already today. We've done a lot of knots, haven't we? Take your legs out, shake them out. Good. And grab a hold of that right foot. You can rock it back out here. Rock that leg. You can bring that foot into the elbow and you can rock that baby that way. Sometimes maybe pausing where it feels really good. If you'd like, you can bring that foot into the right hand, straighten that leg out, and then bring it back. I took it easy on our hamstrings today, didn't I? I think I needed that too. If you do want more hamstrings, I'll give you the option before we're done. Okay, so option is to come into your figure four. Hey, you can hang out right here and be like, I'm good here. If you want to get super yogi on me, you can bring your hands into heart center. If you'd like, you can bring your right elbow outside that foot. Take your twist. Now remember, your left toes, point them up. Don't just let them fall. Point them up, take your twist. I'm going to move a little so the mic can pick up my voice. From here, come out of that. Plant that foot, that left foot outside that right knee. Opposite, right foot outside that left knee. And tuck that foot back towards your booty. Left arm goes up, take your twist. From here, come back to center. Stack those knees. See how it goes on this side. Could be better, could be worse. Could be just information for you. I got some tight hips. Option to stay here. Option to walk your hands away. And let's just bring some attention and awareness to those hips. I've done a lot of hips with you today with figure fours and eagles, and the warriors are definitely hip openers. Looks like you're just a bunch of hippies. Walk your hands back towards your body. Unravel. Shake your legs out. Ooh, 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 ooh. And for some hamstrings, go ahead and sit up nice and tall here. Reach goes up. Tilt here first instead of reaching. Actually, let's put hands not up, but bring them down towards the hips. And bend from here first. Nice. And then reach for your toes and see where your hands land. Maybe they reach and land on your shins. Maybe ankles. Or if you've got long arms like me, maybe they reach the toes, but that's not because you have open hamstrings. Now, if you have hamstrings that are not feeling it today, you can always bend the knees and just reach forward and grab your hold of your calves. That's what I'm going to do. And from here, come on up. Point your feet against the ground. Scoot your booty forward and come all the way down to your backs. Plant the feet behind the glutes. Hands on both sides. Inhale, come into bridge pose. Reach your arms behind you. If they run into something in your house, that's fine. And exhale, bring hands down and pelvis down. Inhale, just bring your pelvis up and maybe reach your hands underneath you. Walk shoulders underneath and maybe come up a little bit higher for your bridge pose. If you want even more, if you want to be even a bigger hippie today, You can extend your right leg out, figure four that. Now don't let your booty sink down. Bring it up. Take some deep breaths here. Where can you soften? Where can you not strain the face? If you do have the figure four, come out of it on the right side. Come into it on the left side. Remember, bring your booty up a couple inches because it likes to sag down. 3 more breaths. And come back down. Bring your knees into your chest and press your lower back into the ground or mat. Option to stay here, or option if you'd like is to come into happy baby by grabbing the outsides of the feet, opening up the legs. Option is to sway left to right. Option is to straighten one leg at a time if you want a little bit more hamstrings. You have fun in your happy baby. Do what feels good to you. And from here, keep your right knee in towards your chest, left leg extends out. Bring that right leg over to the left. Option is to keep that right leg bent, option to straighten it out. And then extend your right shoulder, looking over your right shoulder, coming into your spinal twist. And once you feel ready, come back to center. Switch legs, taking your spinal twist on the other side. Either with a bent leg variation or with a straight leg. And once you feel ready, come out of that, either coming into your Shavasana or taking any last postures that you need or want to close out your practice today. Feel free to do that. If you're deciding to take your Shavasana, just see if you can sink deeper down into the mat. Really feel the benefits of the practice here. I'm going to walk you through something guided that I like to use with my mental health clients. If you want to participate, feel free. If you want to tune me out, feel free to do that too. If you'd like to participate, keep your hands either where they're at, or if it's more comfortable for you, bring them to the stomach. This very complex area of the body. Now, notice if anything comes up emotionally or mentally when you put your hands on your stomach. That's something to take note of. That's something to learn about yourself. The goal here is to feel the rise and fall of the stomach as you inhale and you exhale, using that as an anchor. Now imagine after this practice, maybe the day goes by, or if it's at night, you have dinner and you do your nightly rituals, whether that's watching Netflix or playing a game or reading a book, but you're going through your nightly rituals of what you usually do at night. And it's time to go to bed, so brush your teeth, you get into your jammies, maybe you wash your face, Imagine that you're going through all your little nightly rituals of what you do before you get into bed. Maybe you brush your hair. Maybe you're like me, you don't brush it. But just imagine yourself going through that. Now imagine you crawl into bed and you drift off to sleep. And something really magical happens overnight. So just dream with me. Just think outside the box with me. Something magical happens overnight. Something happens where when you wake up, you are living your dream. You are in the place you want to be, doing what you want to do, with the people you want to be doing it with. A miracle happens. But you're not aware of it quite yet because you're still sleeping. So let's say the night goes by, you had a nice rest, you're feeling well rested. And your feet hit the ground. You use your restroom. You open up the door to your room. And you're exactly where you want to be. Where is it? What does it look like? More importantly, what does it feel like to be exactly where you want? All the dramas of yesterday have floated away and you're exactly where you want to be. You notice that you're not alone because you're exactly who you want to be with. Who is that? Why are they there? Why do you want them there? Again, the dramas of yesterday have no place here in this life of yours. What would you do that day if you could do whatever you wanted? Whatever you wanted, what would you do? And why would you do that? A simple answer could be because it's fun. Now where the final question is, what do you feel like? On the morning of your miracle, what does it feel like to have all the dramas of yesterday just disappear? They're not there anymore. You're where you want to be, with the person you want to be with, or people, doing the things you want to do. What does that feel like to you? Let that feeling saturate your body. Maybe you bring a slight smile to your face. From here, start to bring in gentle movement in towards your body. Maybe wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe deepening your breath. If you want, maybe roll over to your favorite side in the fetal posture. Or if you'd like, you can press yourself up to a seated position. If you want to close out your practice together, if you're on your back or sitting up, you can bring your hands into heart center. Bringing thumbs in between your eyebrows, representing compassionate thoughts. Thumbs to lips, representing compassionate speech. Thumbs to heart center, representing compassionate actions. Namaste, yogis. Oh yeah. So as you're wakening up from this yoga blissness, that was called the miracle question, and that can be something that you write down right now, is where were you and who were you with and what were you doing and how did it feel? And that's what the paper and pen are for. And when you write it down, for some reason, you can recall even more details than when you visualize it in your head sometimes. And this shows you maybe some goals that you have, or some things that could help you achieve more peace in your life. Notice who wasn't or what wasn't in your miracle day. That's something to think about. That's something to process. And then with a mental health coach or a therapist or a counselor, what they like to do is figure out what your strengths are, build on that to reach some of those goals. So what are you doing right today? What can you do today to get you closer to that miracle day? What strengths can you build upon? That's something to write down too. So if you'd like to do a little reflection, where were you? Who was there? What were you doing? How did it feel? Who wasn't there? What weren't you doing? On the other side, you can write what are the strengths and what you were doing well this week. What you do well in life. What can you do to get yourself over here to your miracle day? I hope you enjoyed this yoga flow and that meditation, a little bit of mental health, a little bit of yoga, and I've got a lot of other videos and meditations and podcasts you can listen to on this channel. I have a podcast called The Modern Yogi, and you can find that on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your pods. So take this piece with you throughout the day. All right.